So one of the best things about tiny homes is if you have a challenging site in a really narrow property like the front of this lot, you couldn't build a regular house here, but you can fit multiple tiny homes that are 8 or 10 or 12 feet wide. It's an urban cabin. So we've got bookshelves all in here on both sides. So if your kids, they can hang out here.
It's like a fort.
Yeah, a little fort. We call it adventure lodging. We want people to use the tiny homes as their base camp for adventure.
Sure.
Get outside, spend time outside with your loved ones, your family, your friends.
You got another tiny house for me and my audience yet again.
I do.
We are here at your Cottonwood location. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it? And we're gonna get into what's right here, which is called Love.
It is.
Yeah. So we're at the front of your Cottonwood location. So break it down.
So at Tiny Camp, we have 2 locations, one in Sedona and one in Old Town Cottonwood. This is our second location. There's 4 units, 4 tiny homes. This property is more like what I would call a pocket neighborhood, where the units are kind of around the outside and then there's common open spaces in the middle. We had a lot of fun with this project. It was a challenging site, and this site had never been developed before, didn't have any utilities. Purchased the site as a forest, and we removed the invasive trees and kept the native trees and put the tiny homes in what we think is the best location to create a community.
So you have 2 locations, and I know you're working on a third called Gather.
Yeah.
Gather's a lot different than what we're standing now. You're saying on this location, this was all forest.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to plant any trees. They're already here for you.
Yeah, they were here.
You got to pick and choose which ones you would removed and kept.
So one of the best things about tiny homes is if you have a challenging site, or a site as you stayed in the Sedona location on the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
Or
big time.
In a floodplain, or in a really narrow property like the front of this lot, you couldn't build a regular house here, but you can fit multiple tiny homes because they're 8 or 10 or 12 feet wide. So this just worked out great for this property. The units at the back have more privacy in the forest. The units at the front are closer to downtown. There's a brewery right across the street. And so this unit does have windows, but they're smaller and they're higher up, so people can't just look in the windows. So you still have a lot of natural light, but it still has privacy.
I'm always floored by anybody that is an entrepreneur that takes on this kind of task where you're creating a tiny house Airbnb village. I don't know if you have a better name for it.
Yeah, so this is a tiny house hotel.
Great.
I believe the first one was in Portland, actually.
I stayed there once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so since I first went to that project 10 years ago, we rezoned this commercial. So this is in the Arts and Entertainment District. So it's not like adding an Airbnb to your existing property in a residential neighborhood where you have neighbors. This is in the Arts and Entertainment District downtown zone commercial. So that's how we were able to do this.
And then your Gather location, which I previously spoke of briefly, is more residential. You want to say more about that?
Yeah, so we have another project with 21 units. It'll be open this fall, in the fall of 2025. It's a conservation community, so it's 3 acres. 2 acres are permanently preserved as open space and trails, and 1 acre is being developed. And we were fortunate to find land that was zoned RV park, which is rare. So we didn't have to go through a zone change. And we do have to go through design review, so we have to use native landscaping, dark sky compliant lighting, screening, like this kind of stuff of the neighborhood, things like that.
What's dark sky? What is that?
Yeah, so it's just lighting that doesn't, ambient lighting that doesn't light up the sky. So if you can see the lights on the front door of the units have a shield on them, and they cast down.
Interesting.
And then, we have a gazebo here at the entrance, and it has lights that are embedded up inside the gazebo. So if you're walking by the property, you actually can't see the light source.
So if you don't go through the proper, channels and permits and everything, you could get fines, you could get all that stuff. But you you have to get signed off on. I mean, this is what municipalities are all about.
These all went through the exact same process as a full-size 3,000 square foot house.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
This is what people don't know, and I like to educate and like to teach people. I don't know. I didn't know this stuff.
Yeah.
You just told me. This is great. Well, thank you, Darren. So what about love is kind of maybe each house is a little different here.
Yeah.
So what separates love?
Yeah, so like every unit on this property, these are all built on a trailer chassis, but they're fastened down to meet the wind load of your local jurisdiction. So here it was 95-mile-an-hour wind loads. So it's on an engineered foundation. We added fire sprinklers. I like the design of it personally because it's my man cave. So it's got a lot of wood inside.
Yep.
You know, it's an urban cabin. This is 28 feet by 8 feet wide. So you could move this and take this down the highway and take it to a different property. In this case, it's probably going to stay here. I think it's a good location. So I sold a house I had when I was working in Lake Tahoe and ended up buying multiple tiny homes. Hence, that's how I ended up with this village.
Yeah.
So not only do we have Airbnb or lodging or hospitality, I call it adventure lodging, right? Mm-hmm. Tiny homes, but we also do housing for locals. So I did 2 projects in Riverside for the mayor's office.
Like Riverside, California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One 10-unit project there that was built by Habitat for Humanity that we designed and entitled and permitted, and a project called for the Grove Community Church. So it was on church property. They wanted transitional housing using tiny homes. Those were built on a permanent foundation. They were 600 square feet.
Wow.
So we do a little bit of both. This is the fun stuff where people come and stay, use the hot tub, use the sauna, do yoga on the yoga lawn, try some of our different wineries and have fun.
Yeah, this downtown location is absolutely killer. You found a great spot. I absolutely love it. You have fire pits and you have communal saunas, a sauna and a hot tub and even a cold plunge.
Yeah, so this property has, I call it an outdoor spa. So it has 3 hot tubs, a sauna, cold plunge, and a yoga area for 4 units.
Wow.
This one we added quite a large fire pit.
Oh, there it is in the front.
And what we really like about this, I don't know what your viewers think about hauling propane tanks and refilling propane tanks.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. I've had in my Toyota Tacoma propane tanks rolling around in the back for the last couple of years. Our other property does not have natural gas. Everything's on propane. We were fortunate here to have natural gas. So we tied in natural gas. So the barbecues and all the fire pits are natural gas. And the fun part is they actually have timers on them. So if you have a little bit too much to drink and you forget to turn the fire pit off, after an hour, it'll shut off on its own.
So you said it was a 28-footer?
Yep.
You want to step on in? Want to show it off?
Yeah, so this is the Love Tiny Home, and let's come on in. So
I'll shut this behind me.
this is kind of fun. So it's, I call it urban cabin, and it has a lot of storage built in. So storage in the stairs, storage either on the front or on the side of the stairs. These are 2 locking cabinets because now we rent this one out, but this was my unit. I use these for bookshelves, or you could also use them for shoes if your shoes are smaller than probably a size 11. They'll fit in these little cubbies. There's a closet down in here for your clothes. We also keep extra bedding in here because we have a pull-out couch. And then the water heater is in here and the microwave's on top. And then additional storage. We have blankets and yoga mats and things like that. Full-size bathroom. This one does not have a tub. Our other units have tubs. This is a full-size shower.
Does this work? Look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just hit it.
And yeah, I guess we can
turn all the lights on.
Turn all the lights on.
Is this, you say, I'm sorry, it's a full-size shower, right?
Yeah, full-size shower, yeah. The
Wow.
other one, Dream, has a full-size tub.
It does. I was in there earlier, yeah. It has a full-on tub, actually.
Yeah. I think something that's interesting, in the tiny house world and the building code and what's going on with Appendix Q of the building code and the stairs is the Appendix Q in the building code allowed you to have lower ceiling heights in the kitchens and the bathrooms. So this isn't legal in a house today. It has to be 6'8" or 7 feet, I believe. This is like, I'm 6'2", what is it, maybe 6'5" in here. You can go down to 6'4" and still meet the new building code.
Interesting.
In this unit, we have a sleeping loft above the bathroom. In the unit you're going to see tomorrow, we flipped it and we put the sleeping loft above the living room.
Okay.
And it's just a different feel.
You obviously know all the codes and requirements and everything that you need to kind of, not finagle, but that you know the workaround.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Work towards.
Yeah, work towards.
Yeah, work towards. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And what I'd say, if you're going to look at building a tiny home or buying a tiny home, check with your local jurisdiction of where you think you're going to put it first, and see what. Ask them, what version of the building code they're using. Some jurisdictions, we have jurisdictions here that are still using the 2016 building code. We have other jurisdictions that are using the 2018. In Sedona, they're using the 2024 building code.
Wow.
And there's little changes in energy efficiency and design and stairs and doorways.
And you're talking about just in one state. Imagine if you try to put this in, I know Colorado's a whole nother can of worms we don't even want to go into.
Correct.
A little bit different. I actually said this off camera to you. This feels like 10 foot wide, but you said it's only 8.
Yeah, it's only 8. Yeah.
This feels maybe because there's less upper shelving, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, and this was a lot of fun. So it has 3 different sleeping areas. So there's a place in the front that's a twin XL bed for the kids and kind of a bunkie in the front. There's a pull-out queen bed, and there's a queen bed upstairs in the loft. Now, I do know today that this was an early version of the building code with Appendix Q and the handrail here. And you probably couldn't get away with this today. You'd have to have a handrail on this side.
All the way through, yeah.
And you'd probably have to have another bar up there and have a minimum 4 inches apart. But this was early days in the tiny house world when this one was built.
So is this grandfathered in now?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love the kitchen design, by the way.
Yeah.
Works out well.
So this was excellent. There was a all-in-one washer-dryer unit that was over in here.
Okay.
And we actually took it out because we needed a place for the fire riser. So I had to drill through the granite countertop here and put in the fire riser in under there and come up. So now we have fire sprinklers that meet code. So, the problem in a tiny house is, where are we going to put the fire riser? Well, we can't come up where the water heater is. There's no room in the bathroom. So we ended up having to lose the washer-dryer combo unit, but we were able to at least, make it work.
So if anybody wants to start a tiny house community or tiny house Airbnb like what you have here, this is required. Fire marshal is going to pretty much make you put that in.
Not in every. There are some exemptions in California. So with SB 32, or I can't remember the legislation in California. If you had a primary house that did not have sprinklers and you added a guest house or an ADU, you might get an exemption. But check with your fire department first.
So that's part of the due diligence that a owner has to do. Part of all the jurisdiction stuff that you also want to check with your fire department as well.
Yeah, and one of our other tiny homes, the local fire marshal made us put a fire sprinkler in the bathroom, which isn't really legally required, but every jurisdiction has their own requirements. So talk to them first. This was a retrofit. We already had the unit.
Yeah.
It was already built, and we were trying to make it work. So this was our hack, was drilling through the granite countertop.
It works. And did you, not to call you out here, but did you add this decor after or before the awesome sprinkler pipe?
Yeah, so we had the rustic design and the wood cabin, urban cabin interior, but once we put in the black pipe for the fire sprinkler, we decided to add the black pipe shelves. These were just bought online with the little hooks for extra storage. One thing we're really proud of in this unit, though, is the amount of storage.
Yeah, let's flip sides.
That you can live in. So we're going to flip sides here. And these are actually almost 5 feet deep. So these were hand-built drawers that go all the way back to this wall, maybe 4.5 feet. Little cubbies, extra storage up there. And this is a place for, like, your suitcases. I think, actually... I was still playing hockey at the time. I used my hockey bag to figure out what the size of this should be.
You said in the other video you're Canadian, so that makes sense. You are Canadian and you're born on skates, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I love this little nook, by the way. I don't know, I don't have children, so I would read a book in there if I read, or whatever, right?
Yep.
It's really kind of. Oh, you can have your own.
Yeah. So we've got bookshelves all in here on both sides. So if your kids, they can hang out here.
It's like a fort.
Yeah, a little fort.
It's like a little fort. Tiny Camp Sedona or Tiny Camp, your business, are very adamant, and you're very you try to get people outside. You try to get them to go downtown. You try to get them to go on winery trips or. So there's no TVs.
We call it adventure lodging. So we want people to use the tiny homes as their base camp for adventure.
Sure.
Get outside, spend time outside with your loved ones, your family, your friends. And the design kind of forces you, to get out and explore. Sedona is a beautiful place. We're blessed to have 450 miles of trails just in town.
I don't know what is going on with Sedona, but there's like a spirituality thing going on. There's like an energy in this area.
It's its own vortex.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's something weird. Mm-hmm. I don't want to call it weird, but there's something good going on that gives good feelings. If you haven't been to this area, I highly recommend it.
It's a lot of fun, and come check us out at Tiny Camp.
Well, thank you so much. Tiny Camp, and what is the best way to, is it just tinycamp.com?
Yeah, tinycamp.com, and on Instagram we have tons of photos and videos for the last 5 years of hosting 8,000 bookings, so maybe 16,000 guests. There's a little book, a welcome book, and people can talk about their stay and tell stories. When people come and stay, we ask them for their top 5. What are the top 5 things that they did while they were here?
And you said 8,000, give or take? So
bookings.
Yeah. How many years has it been?
6.
6 years.
Yeah.
Any advice you'd want to give to anybody that maybe is trying to emulate your business model, but in a different state?
Well, we do a bit of both. We do long-term housing, medium-term housing, and short-term housing. And the short-term housing, people talk about it being passive income, and it certainly is not.
Okay.
It's a lot of work. You got to love what you do. You got to love your guests. Being a concierge, it's not about the tiny house. It's about the experience that they want to have while they're here, helping them, find and discover new places and new things to do.
You and I have talked a lot, and you actually have talked to your right-hand person that you rely heavily on. You guys have been fantastic with me, so I can only imagine how you've been treating the guests as well. And you go to events and you go to shows and you're trying to promote Tiny Camp as much as possible. So I appreciate your hosting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully my audience will come and visit you as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'd encourage anyone to explore coming and trying a tiny and staying in a tiny for a weekend or for a week-long getaway. We have locations. There's many other tiny house villages out there. I think there's one other in Eastern, Lux Tiny here in Arizona. There's Tiny House Block. And other ones in Southern California as well.
Oh yeah, Tiny House Block, I know them. Yeah.
And Tiny Tranquility up on the Oregon coast.
Haven't been out there, and they're my neighbors, and I should probably go out there. There's one up in the Colorado mountains, up at 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Leadville. Yeah.
Great community.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you've checked out all these other communities.
I love to take my motorcycle and go explore new places and meet new people and learn from them.
Excellent. And hopefully you just pick up little trips and tricks and tips along the way.
Yeah.
And then you get to share them with everybody else. Well, Darren, thank you so much for hosting me, and thank you very much for showing off the viewers these couple tiny houses. And I'm actually excited. I'm going to end here because we're actually going to visit. We're going to go see your tiny house tomorrow. If that video isn't out, go check it out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.